Wake up, everybody. Good morning to you. And I think by now you've already guessed it. It's already Friday. So you definitely should know that you're watching DBS This Morning, your favorite morning program. And for the new year, we intend to ensure that it remains number one, just like you keep DBS number one. So I want to welcome everybody. Let's get ready to start your day off right. I hope you can see this. The mask has become like my latest accessory and it should be yours. Do not ever leave home without it. But of course, again, we will remind you of protocols and the things that you should be doing. But right now, we want to wake you up in the know with our morning news highlights.
Good morning. Time now for a summary of your top stories. Schools are gearing up for the resumption of in-person classes. With a rise in COVID-19 numbers, there was some uncertainty about whether the Ministry of Health would give the green light for the face-to-face instruction. Confirmation came from the Chief Education Officer, Dr. Fiona Philip-Meyer, on Thursday.
We think of our school communities, our staff, our students, and all the benefactors and well-wishers within the system. We are pleased to speak to the reopening and I would say the continuation of our academic year. As per last term, the pronouncements made, we are continuing with the school year as we have spoken with, and a recommendation came from the Department of Health through the Office of the Chief Medical Officer, also through the COVID Management Center, which was then presented to the Cabinet of Ministers and then confirmed that we are able to continue with this academic year with our face-to-face education for our children.
She also joined the calls for responsible behavior among citizens so that schools could remain open. Meanwhile, the president of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Merle Clark, says policymakers have some tough choices to make in the face of rising COVID infections, and she is cautioning them against shying away from making those tough decisions.
Again, we can still stop this. We can mitigate this by doing our part and getting vaccinated, avoiding large crowds, adhering to the public health protocols.
Clark has not been shy about her support for vaccine mandates. Meanwhile, this week, Prime Minister Pierre, who initially said government would not make vaccination mandatory, hinted that this might change if infections continue to rise. The leader of the opposition, Alan Chastanet, has written to the acting comptroller of customs demanding answers to questions about the withdrawal of charges against Dr. Ernest Hilaire in connection with the importation of a Range Rover vehicle while Hilaire served as the country's High Commissioner to the UK.
Because you have conflicting information. You have the fact that Ernest Hilaire paid for the car, and so he would be considered the beneficial owner. But that he used his office to put it in the name of the High Commission in order for him to be able to benefit. And so before any further charges can be laid in this case, you have to determine who owned the car. And then the other part becomes, if in fact the car was registered in the name of the state and is owned by the state, then means that Ernest Hilaire could not benefit from the car being duty-free in St. Lucia. But you see, you must first determine who the ownership of the vehicle is, and really the letter is to the controller of customs, simply asking him to bring clarity.
The opposition leader has given the acting comptroller 14 days within receipt of the letter to respond. Former Tourism Minister Dominic Fedee has accused the SLP administration of double standards when it comes to its management of the COVID-19 crisis. Fedee says while in opposition, the SLP chastised the government for not closing the borders when tourists accounted for at most 2% of cases.
I think it's a very worrisome reality, hearing the announcement from the CMO that 26% of the cases since the fifth wave at the end of December happens to be visitors. I think that this is extremely worrisome. I know if the SLP was in opposition, what they would have been saying now. There was no Omicron variant, there was no Delta variant. We didn't have such a high volume of tourists at any point of the pandemic, as much as 26%. It means that 1 in every 4 are tourists. 1 in every 4 cases we have are tourists, that is quite a significant number. And, the government has been hush-hush quiet. Where are the voices that have been saying close the borders? Those voices have been gone extremely silent. The government needs to get its act together. Be decisive, be consistent, Stop saying one thing in opposition and another while you're in government.
According to the Chief Medical Officer, tourists account now for 26% of COVID-19 cases on the island. And according to FEDE, the SLP administration is yet to reveal a solid plan to tackle the issue. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thank you again, everybody, for being up with us. Of course, we've finished our morning news highlights. And if you missed anything, don't worry. There's so many other ways that you can keep up and keep abreast with the news. So catch our midday newscast and also don't miss our 7 p.m. primetime newscast. So we have you covered in all shape, ways, and forms. Now, with this being said, I want to take a quick commercial break. We have so much more in store for you. It is our first official Friday for the new year. So we're going to make sure we do it the right way. So give thanks and we'll be right back. Good morning once again. In the spirit of making sure that we start off with the right intentions for 2022, and by that I'm meaning also making sure that we think of others, we're going to continue. If you caught our show yesterday, it is time for part 2 of Beauty with a Purpose. And again, this features our Miss World representative, Tyler Theophan, and of course showing that there's so much more to this beauty that meets the eye. And this is really what I love about it, and hopefully it inspires us to see what we can do to be there and help each other out.
Through 2 of the charities I am engaged with, the Darren Sami Foundation and the Do Something Different Foundation, food hampers and school supplies were distributed to various needy students and families. Though the recent expansion of the school feeding program and school bursaries on the island helps to alleviate this situation, there are still many children to help. My experience as a child has instilled in me the belief that family is the single most important influence in a child's life. From their first moments of life, children depend on parents and family to protect them and provide for their needs. If and when parents or family fall short, that responsibility falls to the community. Most important to me on this project has been the opportunity to read to children. Reading allows children to understand various concepts, expand their vocabulary and knowledge. Reading also helps in their emotional and social development since they learn to associate their feelings with words and express themselves better. It was indeed a heartwarming experience to read to scores of primary school students across the island and also to the orphans at the Holy Family Children's Home. In true St. Lucian style, when we help each other, we do so with our minds, bodies, and soul. That's the Kudme spirit. The labor to build Jessica's house was provided through this Kudme spirit. My team and I took the time to help lay the foundation of Jessica's new home, and with music, food, and laughter, the work was made that much lighter. My Beauty with a Purpose project has mobilized resources from over 20 organizations, including government, private sector companies, and charities, in the execution of this humanitarian effort.
Once Lou was contacted with this initiative, really jumped at it, where we wanted to be able to help out with the development of the house for the young single mother. We provided the initiative with about 10 windows and a few of our doors to help with the construction of the household.
When we got the call, we were ecstatic to be associated with such a brand, and it falls in line with our corporate culture, and we just ran with it. She chose Tyler's Blush, which is environmentally friendly. She chose that color and we made it just for her. So were you to come to Harris Paints today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now, you can ask for Tyler's Blush and you will still get that exact shade.
Export St. Lucia's partnership with Miss St. Lucia World Tyler Theophan for her Beauty for Purpose initiative was a no-brainer. Here at Export St. Lucia, we really like to highlight the excellent product, people, services, and initiatives in St. Lucia. This made our partnership with Tyler, like we said, the perfect fit. And we're really happy to see how all of this came out and how Tyler, along with us and the other partners, were able to influence the life of this mother and her children.
With regard to the actual assistance by the SSDF, we were able to provide technical support, and we really wish that we could have done a little more, but because of COVID and the decreased subvention amounts, we were not able to do what we normally do, because there's no question that Miss Gillard and her kids need that house.
I never knew someday like that would come for me. I thank you, I thank God, I thank Tyler. I don't even know what to say. I'm so excited and I can't even really believe that happening.
We pledge continuous assistance to this project as additional efforts have been mobilized to beautify Jessica's home, secure furniture and appliances, as well as home care services for her boys. This should enable her to seek gainful employment. I would love to maybe one day update you on this story as we continue to secure more supplies for Jessica and her family. It does indeed take a nation to provide beauty with a purpose. I am happy to be part of this initiative, which gives me the opportunity to contribute to the well-being of others. This is my purpose.
It is a Friday. I have to remind you of that. Of course, our very first Friday since the year has begun, and of course, our full week of shows this week. So with that being said, Fridays is for feeling good, and that's one thing I don't want to change about the show. And we're going to showcase some local talent today. She goes by the name of Omega, and I want to remind all of you, through the help of her song, hopefully this is going to inspire you, and to remember that we are all worthy. So even when we think that we're not doing our best, God is always with us. So we have to count our blessings, keep on pushing, and be the best version of ourselves. So please enjoy Worthy by Omega.
I've been bad, Lord, I'm ashamed of what I have done, You said love your neighbors as yourself, I did that to no one. I fell down, sprawled to the ground when I didn't listen, Now I know that you are my king, I will praise you. I just know what to do. I'll get down on my knees and words will start flowing. I'll get my breakthrough. If I'm stuck in the fire, you will come to save me. Will come to save me. If my name was danger, I know you still love me. When I give up and I said I am done, you help me get up, get back on my feet. You are Lord and you never fail, you are worthy of the lies and all the hurt I caused you. Pushed you away, didn't want you to stay, had no faith but bad news. I got lost, couldn't find my way when my faith was weak. Now I know that you are my king, I will praise you. Need a miracle, I just know what to do. I'll get down on my knees and words will start flowing. I'll get my breakthrough. If I'm stuck in the fire, you will come to save me. Will come to save me. If my name was danger, I know you still love me. When I give up and I said I am done, you help me get up, get back on my feet. You are Lord and you never fail, you are worthy. You are the King of kings, you are the Lord of lords. We worship and depend on you. You are glorious, Lord. You the King of kings. You are the Lord of lords. We worship and depend on you. You are glorious, Lord. When I need a miracle, I just know what to do. I'll get down on my knees and words will start flowing. I'll get my breakthrough. If I'm stuck in the fire, you will come to save me. If my name was danger, I know you still love me. And I give up and I said I am done. You help me get up, get back on my feet. You are Lord and you never fail. You are worthy.
Good morning and welcome to this morning's Soca Size session. Leading the wine, we have Laurie, Susie, and Shani. Let's get ready to sweat with Soca Size. This warm-up routine is Savannah Grass by Kes the Band. Let's get moving. Oh, 3, 2, beat your steel pan or your piece of iron. 3, 2, alternate the side, step, together, and hey. 4, 3, 2, take it, and we gon' make them jump, roll and wind, wave side to side, let's go. Now we're frontline costumes. Let's go to the side and take it back and turn it. This side, let's go. Hola, take it back. Turn it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and hey! 4, 3, 2, 1, take it up and wind. With 4, 3, 2, let's go! Hola, hey, turn it! Next side, let's go! Turn it! 4, 3, 2, 1, and arms up, 1. Wave on. 4, 3, 2, 1. That was this morning's session. Thank you for choosing to flaunt with Soca Size St. Lucia. Have a wonderful day.
Now that's what I'm talking about. We wrap up our Fridays with some Soca Size in the mix, giving us the energy that we need. And of course, as we continue to ride the waves of this pandemic, I can't stress enough on the fact that health needs to be our priority right now. Whether you're vaccinated, whether you're not, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we need to be taking care of ourselves. Nothing is going to work for us if we are not keeping our body, our temple in the best shape that we possibly can. I know I indulged Christmas time. I'm sure you have too. So again, let's not be down on ourselves. We're going to do the fix up and the makeup right now. It's okay. Everything in moderation. So again, take care of yourselves. Take time to love you. And I think my message on the win today for you is just stillness. Some people find relaxation maybe watching TV or being on their phones or devices. But just try to find a little moment of quiet time with no distractions, alone time with yourself, and listen to that calm, that quiet, that stillness. I woke up this morning and I was just amazed. My TV was off and I felt like, wow, this silence is beautiful. So take time to tap into you. Take care of yourself. We love you here at DBS. And again, I'm wearing my latest bracelet. Yes, it's my mask. Don't leave home without it. Make sure you have your hand sanitizer, because the onus is on us to protect ourselves and each other. So I want to see you on Monday feeling happy, healthy, and strong. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.